Welcome to Beyond the Campfire, the Dead by Daylight podcast where we dive into the stories, secrets, and strategies behind the horrors and the heroes within the fog. My name's Dogbomb, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Lemon. Lemon, hello.
Hi, Dogbomb. How are you doing?
I am all right. A little bit tired, as per usual. It was my little one's birthday over the weekend.
Oh,
So I'm still coming down from that, I think. But yeah, I'm all right.
so you are all partied out.
All partied out. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's been a long week of some health issues, but we're getting there. So I have not played as much DBD as I wanted to.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you had time with all the partying?
I've still been playing. We can talk about this week's sort of updates and things as we go through. We'll start with last week's questions. Do you remember what your question was last week?
That was if anybody had changed their perks after listening to our episodes of the podcast.
Interesting. We've had one response on that from Isaac, who said, interesting episode. Didn't know anything about Fungmin except lies. The new map is great, and I love the legendary skin for Trickster. We'll talk about those in a moment as well. There was one time where after listening to the Jake Park episode, I made a build with Dramaturgy and Calm Spirit, so I could use Dramaturgy without screaming. I asked if there was any outfits or fits that they would like their survivors to wear. And Isaac said, one outfit I would like in DVD would be for Jake Park, obviously. And I would love a legendary or visceral / iridescent because he has none except for reskins. And survivors barely get any cool legendaries. Fair point. Fair point. We got another couple of comments about other things, so I'll mention those now. We had one from Kayla on episode 14, which was the Doctor. The question was, do you go straight to gens or do you look for who the killer is? And they say, I would say I always seem to go straight to the gens. As a survivor, I'm ready to hurry and get the gates open, which is fair. Just in a rush to get through the game. Just want to get finished. That's understandable. And we had a comment on episode 2, the Trapper, over on YouTube. I went over all of the different socials and I tried to make sure I'm covering everything. And I found a comment on episode 2 on YouTube from MC Extrat, which said Goalkeeper Trapper is also a fun build, which is fair. So if you don't know what Goalkeeper Trapper is, Lemon, or anybody listening, it's basically end game. You open up the end doors and then you fill the doors with traps. And then you try to stop people from escaping by standing in goal.
That's a thing?
That's a thing, yeah. Goalkeeper Trapper.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have never seen that ever.
Oh, it's fun. You get Goalkeeper Nurse sometimes as well, who hides behind the end gates because you can go through as a nurse. And you can get Goalkeeper Nemesis because there's a perk that puts their zombies behind the gates. And you can get Goalkeeper Dracula.
The Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord. You can get Goalkeeper Dracula as well, who has the fire columns in the gold mouth. So yeah, lots of fun Goalkeeper builds. So thank you for the reminder on that, MC Extras. What was your question again, Lemon? Your question was?
If anybody had changed their build due to the podcast.
I changed mine last week.
Wait, what?
I changed mine last week. That's where your question idea came from, remember? I said I was getting rid of Jane's perk and I was switching out to Feng Min's perk. I did, and it lasted about 2 games, and then I changed back. So yeah, I changed my comfort bill for 2 games last week.
Wow.
Have you changed or tried any perks based on the podcast?
Have I changed? Have I changed? What a question.
That's the question.
Have I changed? First of all, I'm not using self care since episode, what, 2? 1? Where I got, no, 3. Claudette's episode. Since I got called out for using it. Not been using it since.
Good.
So yeah, my whole build has, not my whole build, I'm still using my blast mine. But besides
Yeah.
that, everything has changed.
Wow. You're only using Blastbine until I talk about Blastbine. So
Well,
that'll change eventually.
I wish people could see the proud look on your face right now. I hate it.
My answer to the question is yeah. So a little bit of sort of behind the scenes before we record, I tend to try all the perks and things that we're talking about, or the killer that we're talking about, or the survivor that we're talking about. So I tend to try all of the perks every single week just to remind myself what they do. And uh, yeah, I'm constantly switching up my build. And also on stream, I do the luck challenge. So my build fluctuates and changes every week. How about outfits, Lemon? Is there any outfit that you'd like in Dead by Daylight?
Loads. I would like more cool outfits for Jane. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a lot of her outfits has like a mom look to it instead of sexy curvy lady.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to be sexy curvy lady. So yeah,
Cool.
I would love also some themed outfits. Like the whole Alice in Wonderland where Kate got the Alice outfit, Ace got an outfit. Like,
Yeah.
why not Jane?
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it does sometimes seem like there's a bit of a misbalance across survivors and killers sometimes.
I definitely feel like Dwight gets a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
I th- Personally, I think I would like more killer outfits. I love seeing the really rare killers. Um, like, for example, Naughty Bear. I'm not saying it's particularly rare, like a lot of trappers play it. So when you get a trapper, you often get a Naughty Bear, but it's different. It's a change of pace. It feels like a slightly different game when you're playing against Naughty Bear as regular trapper. There's the new skin for the Trickster, which again I think feels like a slightly different game.
By the way, talking about Naughty Bear, Legion has that bunny outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is people not
This,
using the bunnies?
well, I think it went for a while. That's from
Oh,
Resident Evil.
because they are so cool.
I've not seen a bunny in a while. Is it still
The
available?
I don't know. I just feel like I never see a Legion bunny.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
in
Yeah, I've
never,
not
I
seen
mean,
one.
like, I might see one twice a year. But
I've not seen one in a while.
yeah, it's just there is some cool ones out there. We just don't see them.
Mm. I would like to see the character as a clown.
Yeah.
I would like to see Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger as the twins. Can you imagine? That would be so cool. Schwarzenegger just walking around with a little Danny DeVito just in his gut.
Yeah,
That'd be so good.
that
So,
would
so good.
be so disturbing.
But the one thing that I really, really want is an ace head with a mustache and glasses. Just regular glasses. That's
And
the
long
thing I
hair.
want most of all, and longish hair. Not particularly that bothered about the hair. I'll change hair.
No.
Yeah, yeah, I'll change hair. Headphones would be good. It'd be good to have them with headphones on. But yeah, that's just a personal thing.
Okay, so we need
Anyway,
Ace head with man bun, glasses, and a slightly curled mustache.
slightly curled mustache. Correct. How have your games been? The ones that you have played this week, how have they been?
I played the new map.
Hmm.
I think I only played it like 2 or 3 times. I really like it. and I got the
Cool.
new dude. I do not remember his name. I got him at that.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
Kwon Tae-young, the new, survivor. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I really like the new map. It's it seems cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like the new Trickster skin. I like Mina, and with the new Mori. I like the new guy. I think his perks are quite strong, and they fitting really well. And yeah, I like the new map. I played a bit of the new map back to back, and I played Trickster and stuff, and it got a bit much having them back to back in that playlist.
Oh,
But I think once it's just in the regular rotation, I'll be able to cope with it a bit more. It was just, yeah, it's very neon and very bright and flashy, and playing it back to back just got a bit much.
I just hope it's a map that we will get kind of not often, but often-ish, because I feel like
Um,
there's some maps we get over and over and over again, like
mm,
RPD.
I don't think we get enough RPD. So yeah, that's interesting because I genuinely don't think I see it enough.
What?
Hmm, weird.
We need to clean your glasses.
My games have been going super well. I did more of my Ace Luck challenge, and hell was I lucky this week. I kept getting hatch after hatch after hatch. I did 2 games where I crawled to hatch from quite far away as well. I was just left on as a slug and crawled to hatch twice. It was
Would
pretty cool.
would you like to give us a small treat of the song you sang on stream?
Maybe I'll clip it. Maybe I'll clip it from the stream and add it in here.
Man! Squee ba 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 da bop. Ba 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 da bop. Squee
Yeah,
ba 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 da bop.
I was
Ba ba
full of
ba da
singing
ba da
voice
da.
that day.
Squee ba 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 da
You
bop.
really were. It
Ba
was
ba ba da bop.
brilliant.
Squee ba 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 da bop.
Uh,
He's the
but yeah,
hatch
they were good games. They were good games. And just before we started recording, I played today's killer and had 2 4Ks. But we'll talk about that when we get to the killer. There was this week a community live stream on the 19th. Did you see any of that, Lemon?
I watched most of it.
I did not see any of it at all. Was there anything in there that was interesting, important?
Well, if you are interested in the whole grimoire thing,
Mhm.
that was
Mhm.
like what it mostly was about.
Mhm.
Um, then it was definitely a stream to watch. There was also some votings about the future Mori of the killer. And there was this cool thing where they had like Twitch integration thingy where you could just vote on the stream.
Oh, that's cool. So
So
did you vote?
now I have actually voted.
Whoa.
I know.
Now you're involved.
I am. There's no way back.
Wow.
Um, so they talked about some of the earlier votes and then about the votes out now.
Mhm.
Um, and then there was some talk about dog going to HorrorCon. Is that what it's
Mhm.
called? In Glasgow. And that the tickets are for sale for the birthday.
The anniversary event.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that the dog is looking forward to see a lot of people in cosplay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Are you going?
No. Also, are the tickets sold out?
It's $80 Canadian dollars or 140 Canadian dollars for the premium tickets. The premium tickets are sold out. So you can't get premium tickets anymore. And they are the ones that I would probably go for
Yeah.
if I was going to
If
go.
I were traveling that far, I would get the premium top tier
Yeah.
tickets,
So
definitely.
they've sold out, and I'm get because I thought about buying the tickets just for the digital rewards, but then I was like, I
Mhm.
can't. That's quite expensive just
Yeah.
for like a badge or whatever they
Mm.
give. So I talked myself out of that.
I did look at plane tickets
Yeah, so did I. It's too expensive for me to justify for a
for
1 day
one
thing.
day. Yeah, and then hotels at top, at least for
Mm,
one night. But then again, who goes from Europe all the way to Canada for just one night?
mm, mm.
That seems a bit.
If anybody out there's worked out a cheap way of doing it, let us know, because I would be interested, but it would have to be
Yes.
more reasonable.
Mm.
We have the Blood Moon event starting this week, and unlike usual, when I say we've got something starting this week, it's actually out after the podcast. So it comes out on the 26th, which is the Thursday. I've seen a little leak
Ooh.
online, and it
Please
looks
share
quite
with
promising.
us.
I don't want to talk too much. I don't know how much to trust leaks, but what I've seen looks promising. It's all about blood generators again, filling them up with blood. 7 generators, 4 of them are going to be blood generators. But yeah, it looks interesting and intriguing.
It's just so messy with all that blood.
Yeah, well, it's a horror game ultimately, right?
Do you know how hard it is to get blood stains out of things?
No comment. No response. The other thing which I guess is worth pointing out and mentioning is that the servers this past week have been rough, particularly over the weekend, but also right up until Monday. People were struggling to get into games. I saw a lot of streamers playing other games, struggling to get into lobbies. They have been rough and ropey this week. So hopefully, there's been a patch today. Hopefully, everything is fixed. Hopefully, everything works well going into the Blood Moon event, because people do like those extra blood points and bonuses, and hopefully doesn't crash and burn.
But it was a bit fun that Monday they went down. We got that blood points. What was it? 750,000 or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then during the DVD stream, the service went down again.
Oh.
And people were just dying in chat. And yeah, so it was a bit awkward when they raided out
Mm-hmm.
because every streamer was struggling.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So they raided out to somebody, and she was just like sitting there, not being able to play the game.
Oh no.
It was a bit fun.
But yeah, hopefully they get fixed for the event. Anyway, Lemon, this week it's all about lobs, long shots, and lullabies. It's the Huntress.
So this week we're going to talk about the Huntress. Or we would call her Anna, because that is her real name. We first meet her in chapter 5, A Lullaby for the Dark. It was a free chapter that was released after the 1-year anniversary of the game. To get to know Anna better, we will look at the in-game bio, and then we will go to the memories from Tome 3. So we're going almost all the way back to the start. Anna lived in the northern parts of Russia with her mother. Her mother taught her how to survive from the moment Anna could walk. Survival was an important skill to learn if you wanted to live in the remote and dangerous woods. When it got too dark to stay outdoors, they went into their old but very sturdy cabin. Here Anna loved to cuddle up in her mother's arms and listen to stories surrounded by toys and masks that her mother had crafted. One day, when Anna and her mother were out hunting, they were stalking a great elk through the woods. They both knew that hunting a great elk would be dangerous, but the winter had been rough, and they were almost out of food. At that point, the thought of starving for the rest of the winter were more scary than any animals in the dark woods. Without any warning, the elk turned around and charged towards Anna. Anna was paralyzed by fear, as there was no way to prepare for this to happen. As Anna stood there frozen, watching the elk come closer and closer, her mother threw herself in front of Anna, and she screamed as the elk stabbed her with its antlers and lifted her into the air. Anna's mother had an axe in her hand, and she used all her strength to smash it down into the elk's head over and over until finally the antler snapped and she was free. The elk collapsed on the ground next to Anna's mother. Anna was too small to be able to move her mother's broken body, so all she could do was to sit with her in the clearing in the woods where she had landed. The elk was crying from pain, and to distract Anna, her mother hummed her favorite lullaby. They stayed like that for a while. As it was getting darker, and Anna's mother and the elk got colder, then everything went silent. Now Anna was all alone in the woods. She got up and walked alone, the long walk home. Anna was still a child, and she just knew enough to survive alone in the cold woods. But she followed her instincts and got older and stronger. All grown up, she was a dangerous predator that was one with the wild, and her humanity was just a dream from her childhood. As Anna grew up, she worked her way through the animals in the woods. In the beginning, she ate squirrels. Then she moved on to hares, then minks, foxes. But as she got older and stronger, she got tired of the safe kills and moved on to more dangerous animals like wolves and bears. But that was only until she found her very favorite prey, humans. One day, some travelers came through her parts of the woods, and she slaughtered them. As to Anna, they were just another type of animal. She loved to collect their tools and colorful clothes, and if there were any children, the toys. The only ones she could not bring herself to kill were the little girls. Anna would bring the girls back to the cabin. She missed the closeness from a person she loved, maybe even a child of her own. Her cabin got filled with toys and clothes and books Anna could not read. And to keep the girls safe, she had to tie them up. She used a rope around their neck and fastened them to the wall. She was scared that they would wander off and die in the woods, as they did not know how to survive. Every girl that Anna brought home died, either from starvation or the cold or from some sort of sickness. And every time Anna got more and more depressed. Her pain over the losses drove her into madness, but Anna would not give up on having her own family. She started to raid the villages that were nearby. She would slaughter a family and kidnap the daughters. She would wear one of the animal masks her own mother had made so many years ago as a way to calm the scared girls. Soon, the rumors in the region would be that there was a half-beast in the Red Forest who killed men and ate little girls. When the war came to the forest, there were no more travelers. The villagers abandoned their homes, and there would no longer be any little girls, only soldiers. A while into the war, World War I, Anna had a girl in her cabin. And Anna was entertained by going out watching the soldiers fight. She loved the explosions that blasted some men into pieces and let other men drown in mud and blood. One day she heard some screaming. She followed the sound and came to a small Russian camp where soldiers were guarding some prisoners. She stayed and watched them and saw how the soldiers, after dinner, crushed a prisoner's head with a shovel just to pass time. Anna did not want to stay around. She wanted to go hunt for better humans. But then she noticed something. It reminded her of her father. It would be the perfect gift for her girl at home, her little Bushka. She kept watching the Russian soldier that were carving the gift while he was guarding the foreign prisoners. She remembered that her mother once told her that soldiers fight because they can't understand each other. Even her own father was killed by soldiers. She kept watching the camp, and she wanted to fight, but she knew there were too many. Then she sees her mother appear in front of her and tell her that she just needs to thin out in the ranks. As she watched the soldiers, she sees that they take one of the prisoners and tie him to a branch and light a fire a few inches under him. Anna is confused because, as we all know, you kill before you roast. But then she sees that the soldiers are enjoying watching the pain and agony from the prisoner. He squeals like a pig. Anna thinks it sounds kind of funny. The Russian soldiers are making jokes and trying to imitate the pig sounds. Anna has to stop herself from laughing out loud. Then, all of a sudden, Anna gets startled. There is a soldier close to her. He comes at her with his bayonet, but Anna evades and grabs him at his neck. She gets her fingers around his throat and yanks as hard as she can. He gurgles and collapses on the ground, dead. She returned her attention to the laughing soldiers. and the screaming human pig. She smiles. She can't wait to get her hands on all of them. Four soldiers is searching for their missing friend. One of them is getting closer to Anna. She raises her axe and hit him in the center of his face, right down the nose, between the eyes, straight through the mouth, the teeth, the tongue. She covers his mouth while she looks in his pockets for the carved gift, but it's not there. Then she removes her hand and let the other soldiers hear the sound of the soldier gurgling on his own blood. As they come closer, she grinds her teeth in a fury and let her axe kill one after another, even two in one hit. From that day, the Russians and the foreigners are no longer fighting each other. They are working together to survive. They were calling her a ghoul, a monster, a bodog. They were making traps, digging pits, trying everything to be safe. But every night Anna would get close to the camps and sing a lullaby before howling like a bodog. As she went home to sleep, the soldier would stay up in terror. And after a few nights with no sleep and in fear, they would always be an easy kill for her. As the war came to an end, the stories of the Huntress disappeared, and so did she, in the Red Forest. And then there is a clip to watch that shows Anna killing soldiers and humming the lullaby we all know. She gets a gift and brings it home to her bushka. So that is the story about Anna the Huntress. To that, there is that the Red Forest is like the realm of three maps in the game. The Mother's Dwelling and the Temple of Purgation.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is in the Mother's Dwelling, the house with the gen on the roof. There should be a family photo where you can see a man and a woman and a child, and the woman is holding a newborn baby. That is said to be the huntress' parents and maybe a younger sibling. So maybe there is a younger hunter rest out there.
A little baby huntress.
Maybe. That's creepy. Then under the map history, it's said that the Red Forest is surrounding Chernobyl. And it's red from the Chernobyl disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like more than one problem here. The Chernobyl disaster was in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And the law is during World War I, which was from 1914 to 1918.
Mm.
And then in the start, we are told that she's Russian. And she lives in a forest in the north of Russia. Chernobyl is in the north of Ukraine. And during World War I, yes, Ukraine was a part of Russia.
Mm.
But that would have been southern Russia. It's confusing my geoguessr brain a bit. It gives me a tickle, a brain tickle.
A brain tickle. I think with the the realms and the survivors, I don't think they always match date wise. Because I think with some of the medical stuff wouldn't exist at the same time as
Mm.
the nurse and the doctor kind of existed. So I think there is some disjointment between the realms and the killers. I don't think they're kind of brought in wholesale, as it were. I think they're just kind of created by the entity and exist in its own space. Because we'll find out later that there are people from the future realms and things when we go through other killers and survivors. So yeah, I think that's where that discrepancy comes in. I don't know about the Chernobyl thing and the south of Russia. That's just possible bad geography on their
They
part.
they could just have written, like, she was from the south of Russia, and my brain wouldn't have been tickled.
And they could have just said a nuclear. They don't need to have named a place. You know.
Yeah, in the map, information, it says that, it's
Yeah.
said to be Chernobyl, which is yeah, no more Jew, but Ukraine.
Mm. I do like that she was a free chapter after 1 year. I think that's a cool thing that everybody gets her
Yeah.
as a killer because I think she's very different, but also she's quite straightforward. We'll talk about that when I get onto the like how she plays and stuff. But also, I just like that idea of them giving away a killer.
Mm. Yeah.
I wish they'd do that bit a little bit smidgen more. I know we get like banners and stuff, but like it's
Who
10 years
knows?
coming up.
M
Maybe we get something for 10 years.
Maybe the Grimoire is going to be free.
That would be very cool. That would be very, very cool on their part as kind of a thank you for doing all the work behavior. Even Lemon got involved.
True, true. I feel like I deserve a piece of the cake now, but I don't think we did all the work. Like, they have to come up with all the ideas to put them out to a vote, and then they have to continue with one of I feel like they work hard on this, but yeah, I'm involved. I need
I'm
cake.
involved too. I'm involved too. Anyway, we've gone off topic a little bit. Should we find out about the how the Huntress plays? The Huntress is all about accuracy, precision, and map pressure at range. She carries hatchets, which she can use to throw and injure or down survivors from a distance. And she doesn't really need to commit fully to loops. She can end chases early with a well placed throw, and survivors are constantly forced to think about their line of sight, their corners, and their windows. Um, the trade off, I guess, is time and consistency. Missing a hatchet will cost you pressure, and you do need to reload, which will slow you down. Some firsts. Again, we're still in the first. Still, this is the first year freebie. We are still in firsts. She was the first killer to have a ranged attack. The first playable character with an unknown surname, just known as Anna. And she is the first killer to vocalize her attack. She does that. "Ah!" That's a very good impression. Dog bomb, well done. Good Huntress. But yeah, that is the cool thing about Huntress. She was nicknamed Bear in development, which is cool when you know her backstory now about going through all the different various animals and living with the various creatures. And the Huntress is likely ambidextrous. She guides the axe with her right hand and she throws with her left, which I think is partly how the killers are made and designed, but is very interesting. It's caused a lot of consternation on the internet, as these things do. Her weapon is hunting hatchets. She carries 7 hunting hatchets from the start of the game. And you hold the power button and you wind up that hatchet. You release it to throw the hatchet, or you can press attack to cancel a throw. There is a charge. So when you pull back the hatchet, you hear a ding sound. That means that it's fully charged, and then when you release it, it will go much, much faster. So 25 meters per second for a regular throw, 40 meters per second for a maximum charged throw. When you run out of hatchets, the hatchets in the lockers will glow white or whatever color you've selected. We have no aura colors. They will glow, and you will know to go and refill your hatchets when you're out of them. There are some add-ons. The usual thing of the add-ons is that they add and remove numbers. So they will make you reload faster. They will make you pull back faster, wind up faster. All those fun things. There are lots which involve hitting the survivors and causing them to have incapacitated, mangled, exhausted, etc. But there are a few to mention. There are 2 iridescent add-ons. One of them isn't that interesting. So the soldier's putty. Basically, when you're out of hatchets, it allows you to move a little bit quicker, which seems a little bit counterintuitive. I guess it can surprise people when you suddenly start moving quicker as a killer, but yeah, that one seems a little counterintuitive. The other is Iridescent Head. Anyone who's played with or against Huntress has probably come up against this or played with it. It's a single hit hatchet. When you're hit by the hatchet, you will be immediately put into the dying state, whether you are healthy or not. However, it reduces your possible hatchets to 1, and that number can't be changed even with any other add-ons that add hatchets. That is now a fixed number. It used to be different. It used to allow you to carry more, but it is now hard-coded to 1. There are a couple of other interesting ones across the board and in purple. And these are the 2 that I used in my Huntress game, my 2 4K games that I played before we came to record the podcast. They are the Wooden Fox. The Wooden Fox grants undetectable after you've reloaded at the lockers, and you are undetectable for 30 seconds. That can be pretty clutch. It can get you to sneak up on survivors. And I paired it with the other purple add-on, or another purple add-on. There are more than 2, which is the Glowing Concoction. After you have hit a survivor with a hatchet, their aura is revealed to you for 5 seconds. So once they're hit, they are then revealed, and you can hopefully, fingers crossed, hit them again. So yeah, those 4 I think are worth mentioning, but do have a look down because some of the ones that allow you to have faster cooldown durations between hatchet throws are really good and are much cheaper in terms of blood point spending resource. She has 3 teachable perks, and I will give you them in alphabetical order as usual. The first is Beast of Prey. Beast of Prey, whenever you trigger Bloodlust, i.e. you have chased a survivor for long enough to trigger Bloodlust, Beast of Prey activates for 40 seconds, and it makes you undetectable. Kind of interesting, but also generally when you're in chase, they know that you're there. So I don't quite know the use of this. I guess you can come off a chase and go and try and get somebody else off a gen or something without them knowing you're coming. It was the first, and it is still the only perk that is tied directly to Bloodlust. There is a newer perk from Alien, from Xenomorph, called Rapid Brutality, which gets rid of your Bloodlust, which means you shouldn't run that with Beast of Prey. But that kind of goes without saying. You do you. You do what you want to do. I'm not your real dad. But they just simply don't work together. Beast of Prey can cause a confusing chase, I guess, if you're in a busy tile where they can't see over. It removes your red stain in your turret radius, so you can, go back around shack or something and surprise them. Um, as you get to higher levels, it's not really going to trick any survivor. It's very, very niche, very, very positional. Her second perk, and boy, do I have some things to say about this one. It is a hex. It is Huntress Lullaby. Now, Huntress Lullaby has an effect that I didn't know existed, and that is when you fail a skill check while the hex is up. When you fail a skill check, the progression penalty is bigger. It's by 6%, which I didn't realize. It doesn't pop up either when that happens. It only pops up after the Huntress has hooked someone. When the Huntress hooks someone, she gains a token up to a maximum of 5, and it will reduce the time between the audio cue, the little ding noise that you get when you're repairing a gen, and the skill check appearing. And at first, it's like 14%. It steadily increases up to 56% at 4 tokens, and at 5 tokens, the audio cue disappears. It's so annoying. So annoying. It's irritating, especially when you're streaming and you're trying to read chat, or when you're just having fun games with your friends. You suddenly have to really concentrate on skill checks. I'm not the best at doing skill checks at the best times, I'll be honest. I've fucked them up. I'm not great. But this just makes it 10 times worse. And possibly this is the worst hex totem. It's not the most impactful hex totem, but boy, does it bother me. I can see Lemon's face is like thunder as well. What do you think, Lemon?
Well, I it's the worst thing in the game, to be fair.
It's the
Like
worst thing in the game. Wow.
oh my god, I cannot do skill checks without that cue, the audio cue, and,
Mhm.
well, I suck at it. It's just like, at this point, I'm just giving up and going to look for the hacks
Mm.
because there's no chance that I will ever get out alive as long as that hex is up.
Yep. And it affects both generators and healing skill checks, and it's so irritating. It is in proper play, I guess. It is not that strong against high level players and people who've played it for a while, because you kind of know when the skill checks are going to come up. It's really strong against new players. Um, it's inconsistent as a killer because it can be cleansed, but it can absolutely spiral a game. And it's genuinely a streamer's worst nightmare. I believe that all the killers who run it just hate streamers. That's my gut feeling on that. If you run that as a killer, you just dislike TTVs.
I think you're right.
Her third perk is Territorial Imperative. Whenever a survivor enters the basement and you are further than 24 meters away, it activates and the aura of the survivor is revealed for 6 seconds. It has a cooldown of 45 seconds. And that triggers whether they are running something like distortion or not. It will still trigger and it will still let you know that somebody has gone into the basement. Which means it's really good for basement builds. So any kind of killer that's based around the basement, I'm thinking basement trapper, basement hag. Um, it's incredibly strong on it. Any basement trapper worth their salt will be running this. Um, it's very strong for anything basement related. It's very situational. I saw people running it a lot after Sable was released, because Sable came with a bunch of basement perks, so people started running Territorial Imperative to know when people were using those new basement perks. But yeah, it's quite situational. Sometimes you have games where nobody goes in the basement ever, so it really needs to be placed on a build around basement.
watching your game before we started recording. Really liked the idea of a basement huntress.
Oh yeah, I one of my games was it was bizarre. I'm still not 100% sure what happened. I
It
got
was
a fair bit
weird.
of aura reading. Um I was running Lethal Pursuer and Darkness Revealed, which gave me a bunch of aura reading as well as the eerie head. And um I obviously had the wooden fox, so I wasn't giving any terror radius, and people were just running at me in the shack, and I eventually got, I think, all of them in the basement at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's a
was
very strange
crazy.
game. But some builds that you might want to try with your Huntress, if you feel like it. A consistent Huntress, maybe something like Iron Maiden, Jolt, Pain Resonance, and Deadlock. To get and add on some extra hatchets and just improve your hit consistency. You might want to do a sniper build, something like Lethal Pursuer, Darkness Revealed for those aura readings, Nowhere to Hide, as well, and Pain Resonance, and get some long range hits. Could maybe pair that up with Barbecue and Chili as well. Or if you want to do a Basement Huntress, I have put together a little build here. It was Territorial Imperative, Agitation, Iron Grasp to get people down into the basement, and maybe Pain Res just to slow down those generators as well. Punish those rescues in the basement.
Oh my god, that's evil.
It is evil. It is
I
evil.
I'm not going to play against you. Thank God.
She is moderately beginner friendly if you've played any game where you have to aim. There is no kind of crosshair on the screen, but you can put a mark in the middle of your screen and run a crosshair. I do sometimes when I'm playing a lot of Huntress, turn on a little crosshair on my monitor. But she does require you to have a little bit of aim. She's pretty straightforward though. She's one of the killers that has a very straightforward skill. Aim, fire, hurt. People kind of understand it. At the very, very, very high levels of Huntress, it can be amazing. A big old arc across the map, followed by a sniper across the map. Wild. There are some absolutely wild Huntresses out there. Um, find your favorite one. We've shouted out a bunch on here already. Some incredible Huntresses, but yeah, go and check out some YouTubes of some incredible Huntress plays. You'll be very impressed. She's definitely up there in the upper tier of killers. She rewards practice and persistence, and yeah, she is very strong in the right hands. Any experience with Huntress or against Huntresses, Lemon?
I have never tried to play Huntress.
Oh.
Um, but against Huntress, like, loads.
Mhm, mhm,
I don't mind Huntress. I feel like because she gives that "ugh" sound before
mhm,
she throws her hatchet, I feel like you get, like, a chance to, like, dodge, or at
mhm.
least try. So I don't mind Huntress. She's one of the good
Yeah.
ones.
I wish I was better at playing Huntress. It's one killer where I think, like, if I put the time in and really got good with her, like, it would be really rewarding. And on the flip side, as a survivor, she's the one. There's a few characters like this, but she's one for sure who, when I'm playing against them and that they're really good, I'm just kind of in awe at how good they are.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed, and I'm kind of loving being killed by them. 'Cause I'm just like, well, you've obviously put some time in, and you've yeah, when they're managing to get, like, hatchets through holes in the ceiling and things, it's wild. It's really wild. Every week, we like to pick out a creator from the Dead by Daylight space, whether it be a streamer, an artist, or someone else. And we have, as I said, we've picked a few huntresses in the past who, as I was going through my little list of people who shout out. I was like, oh, we've already picked those. We've already picked those. Um, so this week, we've gone a little left field, and I have picked chaotic neutral 9. They are chaotic underscore neutral underscore and then the number 9. They stream on Twitch. They stream Dead by Daylight and horror and variety. But the reason they are on my radar and possibly Lemon's radar is I went to an event last year called Timeless, which was a gaming event, and they were in cosplay as the Huntress, and they were amazing. As they walked onto stage, they played the lullaby, and they just absolutely looked like the Huntress was in the room. They came second in the cosplay competition, and I think they were robbed because they were incredible. Did you see them, Lemon?
I watched your live stream from Timeless, so yeah. I had no idea
Yeah,
who they were, but, I do remember the Huntress.
yeah.
I
So,
don't
so,
remember the winner, but I do remember the Huntress.
so yeah. I actually had to look them up because as I was going through, like, oh, Huntress, who do I know who's plays Huntress? I remembered that I'd met a Huntress, and I was like, I need to find out who that is. So I had to actually look them up this week, and I've checked out their streams. They seem cool. They seem very fun, and I will definitely be dropping in and saying hello. They are from the UK, and they are a mum of 3. So yeah, but they play a lot of Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Dead by Daylight, and a bunch of horror games. It looks like they enjoy their horror games. So I'll be checking them out, and hopefully you do too. If you want to, then look at the show notes. Their links will be down there, and definitely go and try and find their cosplay. It was very, very cool. Lemon, who is next week's episode about?
Well, next week, we are going to talk about the king himself,
The King? Ace
David.
Visconti? Oh,
David King. Oh my gosh.
David King.
The real king of the game.
Wow.
So I'm excited to find out more about David King.
I'm excited to find out more about David King as well. As a reminder, we do have a website, beyondcampfire.com, which has our links to any major podcast platforms and where to find us, where to follow us on the socials. And I would like to ask you all to follow us this week. If you are listening to us, you've heard a couple of episodes, or maybe this is your first episode, hit the follow button. We are watching our numbers increase. And by hitting follow, you will be alerted as to a new episode when they are released. So yeah, hit that follow button and just it helps us out a little bit. So thank you. We are getting ever closer to that 1,000, and I think it might be a follower giveaway as well when we hit that 1,000. Do you have a question for the listeners this week, Lemon?
Well, I'm kind of curious because I know what you do. I know what I do when we know the Hex Huntress Lullaby is out there because we both suck at the skill checks. But what does everybody else do? Do you go looking for the hacks or are you just like, I'm just getting the gen done? So, what do
Interesting.
people do?
That is interesting. I'd be interested to know if there's any other X's that cause people to panic and go off and look for them as well.
Yeah.
My question this week is about terror radiuses and I guess lullabies. So the Huntress has her lullaby, which she sings as she merrily walks around murdering people. And then there are some killers that have lullabies as well, and there are some killers that have incredible terror radius music. Some of the more recent killers have absolute bangers. And I want to know what your favorite terror radius is. Do you have a terror radius where where when you hear it, you want to be close to the killer so you can just rock out for a bit? Because I know I do. There's a few terror radiuses where I'm like, I want to just go and hang out with the killer for a bit. and hear that music. So yeah, let us know. What's your jam?
I'm excited to hear your answer to that next week.
I'm holding it close to my chest.
Wow.
And while everyone riffles through their vinyl collection, looking for Terror Radius tunes to hear, remember, play safe out there and don't get hooked.